This is the way I sous vide eggs. I'm doing the same temperature for 2 eggs, but different times on them, so you can choose whatever your preference is. People make sous vide eggs because they look really pretty. Yo, don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out a lot. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna set your circulator to 145. You're gonna pull the eggs out of the fridge and let them sit out at room temperature for 10 minutes just to kind of get the chill off of them. Sous vide means to cook under a vacuum. You aren't gonna vacuum seal these eggs because it sinks to the bottom. So the shell is already your vacuum seal bag, so to speak. Thank you, Mother Nature. Now they are gonna move around a little bit. The more eggs you put in there, the more kind of stable they'll be. The less eggs you're doing, the more they'll have a tendency to move around. After 40 minutes, you're gonna take the egg out and let it stand at room temperature for about 5 to 8 minutes or so. And while it's standing at room temperature, that's when you prep the accompaniments for the egg, whatever you're serving it with. Carefully crack that out of its shell so you don't puncture it. You know, be very gentle with it. And then carefully move it with a spoon when you go to place it on your dish. Discard the loose whites and any of the whites that aren't sticking to the actual egg. Avocado and eggs go together like salt and pepper. It's match made in heaven. So that's what we're doing here. It's a nice little keto breakfast. You know, some lemon juice on the avocado, salt, pepper, all that. Salt and pepper on the egg. Some lemon juice on the greens, and then a nice little herb oil. I prefer like a nice runny yolk that can get all over everything on the plate. Next egg, same steps before. Let stand for 10 minutes at room temperature, circulator to 145. Carefully drop the egg in. Let it cook for 1 hour. That's the only difference. Pull it out, let it sit for 5 to 8 minutes. Carefully crack it open. And again, you're also going to leave the watery whites behind. This one I'm gonna serve again with avocado and greens, but I'm also gonna add some chili oil to this. Just something slightly different. I like making infused oils, so I always have them around. When I cut open this egg, you're gonna see that it takes the yolk a lot longer to spread out. And that's just because it's thicker, it's cooked a little bit more. It's still runny, but it's much thicker. But some people like a tighter yolk that's a little more cooked, and they like the custardy sort of consistency of it. But yeah, that's it. I hope you found this episode useful. When you have time, please check out my tasting menus. If you want to get to know me, definitely check them out. Also, I have my bartender on there collabing with me for cocktails. So don't forget to subscribe. There's 2 different whites. There's the loose white and there's the tight white. And you'll notice that anytime you crack open an egg. The loose whites cook differently than the tight whites. 145 is your magic temperature. In my opinion, I don't think you really need any other temperature. It's just different lengths of time that you're going to adjust for different consistencies. Size of egg does matter. For everything I use large eggs. There's obviously different sizes. Jumbo, extra large, and medium. There's also quail eggs and duck eggs. Still say that 145 is your magic temperature, but you're gonna have to adjust the times according to the size of the egg. Bigger eggs are gonna cook slower and they're gonna take longer to reach equilibrium. Smaller eggs are gonna reach equilibrium faster. Also, what I've learned from pastry chefs and making meringues and making macarons, the age of the eggs matters too. So if you get super farm fresh eggs, you might have a different consistency than if you got eggs from the grocery store that have aged a bit longer. Eggs that are older, they stick to the shell less. So if you hard boil eggs fresh from the farmer's market, you're gonna have a harder time peeling them because the inside kind of sticks to the shell more, the membranes stick to the shell more. You know, if you're doing like a brunch at your house, it's a really good way to cook a lot of eggs with precision at the same time. So eggs can have a lot of like differences. So as you sous vide more and more eggs, you'll start to see these slight differences, but that's all stuff to keep in mind, you know?